Good afternoon, everyone. Can I run my slides?
Sort of, right? Share your screen first.
My name is Mike Ostlund, emergency manager for Eagles Nest. What you just had with Gloria was the main course. I'm dessert. We'll try to make this fast and sweet, okay? It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. Noah was doing what every good emergency manager should. He was listening to his boss, and he was planning ahead. Think about that. As I said, my name is Mike Ostlund. I have a lot of initials after my name, mostly based on communications. I work part-time for Hennepin County Emergency Management as a communications specialist. I'm starting my 13th year. I've been involved in emergency management since about 2007. And that's me down in the corner. That's my Hennepin County radio room. And Aaron talked about Smokey. Aaron, we're good buds. Does everybody know what emergency management is? Yes, no, maybe. Emergency management is a governmental agency that our entire job is to plan for emergency. We work on training. We determine the risks that might befall our community. We figure out how to mitigate those risks or lessen them. We respond to emergencies by supporting our local agencies. We don't actually manage the emergency. And then we help the community with recovery, okay? It's a big job. Eagles Nest Township was created in 1990. You think about it, it wasn't all that long ago. We have a population of 242 full-time residents. Little Eagles Nest Township, but we have 11 large lakes. We are 10 miles between Tower and Ely. Highway 169 goes right through our little community. We have 3 state parks, Bearhead Lake State Park, Vermilion, and Sudan. Of course, that population swells in the summer when all of us trunk slammers show up. And then you add ATVs to the mix. And now we've got an ATV park right down the road from us. People say, why here? That is why. That is a view from my dock. That is absolutely priceless. Besides that, Eagles Nest Township has 23 dead-end roads. There's the map. One way in, one way out. So what we needed to do is we needed to figure out, and a lot of the emergency management work that Eagles Nest Township has done has been on the shoulders of Gloria Erickson and the Firewise program. We needed to figure out, okay, if we need to run, how do we do it? How do we make that happen? How do we evacuate those 23 dead-end roads? Where do we put residents? What residents are we going to evacuate? We need to develop a plan and procedures. So NCEP was born. NCEP is the Eagles Nest Committee for Emergency Preparedness, started by our former fire chief, Larry McRae. It is supported by our Township Board of Supervisors. It's built on the telephone game. Everybody remember the telephone game? Yeah. One neighbor calls another neighbor and calls another neighbor. So we created road ambassadors to keep in touch with their neighbors. So those 23 dead-end roads become the greatest risk. When we started thinking about risks and looking at them, I've been involved in risk assessment for Hennepin County Emergency Management. Hennepin County in Minnesota has about 64. Eagles Nest Township has about 10. Number one, fire. But we're also prone to blow down. Why? Well, we might have a few trees in our neighborhoods. This is mine, June 22nd, or June of 2022. That is what's left of my tree. These chairs, they were brand new, never been used. I moved them to that spot so that they would be out of the wind. tree came right through the middle of it. That's my dock. It's about 6 feet from where it started. But our biggest threat is this, fire. And it's what we've all been talking about for the last hour. This fire could have been catastrophic. It was caused by a chimney that hadn't been cleaned out. As a result, it burned, and it burned very fast. Greenwood fire, we've all talked about that. 290 homes caused the evacuation. It burned 26,797 acres. I want to talk about this one, and Aaron knows this, and Brad and I were talking about it too. The Jenkins Creek fire burned 16,089 acres. Aaron, are they even contained yet? Are they all contained? Are they 100% or not quite?
94% for Jenkins.
No, okay.
As of this morning.
Okay. And Camp House. So this is the Jenkins Creek fire, okay? The distance between that line and Eagles Nest Township was about 20 miles. Based on southerly winds, 20 miles with a fire and 45-mile-an-hour winds coming right at you. It's like a train, and it's not stopping. Now, there's a lot of stuff in between there, but we did start thinking about evacuation, and we did start making those plans. Closer to home, while all of that was going on, we had this little incident. This is a very small fire. It was caused by a tree on a power line. And it dropped a couple of embers. The next thing you know, we have a fire. And it wasn't anything major, but it was enough that it could have been catastrophic. What saved the day here were these two, you only see the picture of one, the DNR folks. They were on their way to another fire when they got this call, and they were rerouted to help us. And we were able to put that out. Our greatest fear is the Camp Lake fire. Camp Lake fire killed 85 people, burned 16,000 homes. And this is why we prepared. Eagles Nest Township started, we talked about evacuation. How do we do it? What do we have to do? How do we get people out of harm's way? And of course, St. Louis County did this very well with the Ready, Set, Go program that Brad talked about. It's a great program. Evacuation exercise number 1 in Eagles Nest was we sent all of those road ambassadors. We have 25 of them, by the way. John Kampman, a colleague on Eagles Nest Fire Department, is one of our road ambassadors as well. First time we did this, we sent everybody a text. Does anybody know how many cell towers serve Eagles Nest Township? 1. Now there's actually 2, and they're not even in the township. The idea worked out pretty well. Problem was that some road ambassadors didn't get the message, or they got it late. So we had to do some things differently. We want all of our residents, when we notified them that we were evacuating for our exercising and practicing, we want them to come and check in. We give them a wristband, and then of course we have a hot wash. Hot wash is just a debrief, and it is a chance for us to talk to our residents. Very important. Our second evacuation exercise, was we couldn't figure out, we wanted to think of if people couldn't go to our town hall, where could we send them? Well, we sent them to a gravel pit. It was close. And it worked out really well. But again, we set up where we checked them in, we got their name, what their address was, gave them a wristband, and they could send them on their way. We also always try to make it an exercise for our fire guys. Why do we practice stuff like this? Anybody count the number of hose sections? I'm serious. 1, 2, 3, 4 going into the water. 1, 2, 3 sitting outside the water. We bought a $300,000 fire truck. The hoses that came with that truck didn't fit Ely's fire truck. So it took us a while to go, oh, wait a minute, this isn't working. What are we going to do? So we had to improvise, and we exchanged hoses, and we now have hoses that all fit. The goal there was, I'm gonna go back, spray 140 gallons per minute for 40 minutes, and they actually did it. So again, all of our cooperating fire departments in mutual aid. Exercise number 3 in 2022. Again, find water, pump it uphill in 5-inch hoses and split it off. It was a very wonderful success. Exercise number 5 scared the bejeebies out of me. And the reason is, this is the crew that made that happen. And actually, there were some people there that were missing. People that evacuated, here's the map of the roads that we evacuated. Most of the residents had to make a left-hand turn onto Highway 169. Think about that just for a moment. And think about the ramifications of that. Even in a everyday situation, that's scary. We had a lot of red lights out there, a lot of signage. Sue is over there putting a wristband on our neighbor. We put wristbands when you check in. We give everybody a wristband. And the reason we do that is security. We want to know that you, number one, have been checked in, but number two, that you actually belong there. So very important thing to do. And again, Gloria shows up with her table of wares. And again, we always have a staff briefing beginning, so that's what this was at the beginning. It's all about community. There's a lady in a hat talking to people about not keeping firewood under your deck. How important is that? This was at John's neighbor's house, I think, last year. Again, this is an incredibly important thing that we do. And I encourage you to talk to Gloria about Firewise demonstrations if you haven't done that. Last year we did 2. The other thing that we do, we encourage our homeowners to clean out that defensible space. Our community wildfire protection plan in Eagles Nest, we want people to get rid of that stuff. So rather than bringing debris all the way to Ely or to some of the other sites, we provide it in the Eagles Nest Township. A few years ago, we started a program of dumpsters. We started dumping the stuff into dumpsters, and we filled 3 dumpsters, and then we filled 4 dumpsters. 2 years ago, we filled 6 dumpsters, 40 yards with debris. We packed it. We had to turn people away. Last year, we filled 6 30-yard dumpsters, or 2 years ago, with brush. Last year, we, let's see, John actually told me how much we dumped out. In 2024, we had 193 drop-offs for 421 yards. And hours that our volunteers gave us, 1,015. So when you do the work, keep track of those volunteer hours, report them to Gloria, report them to your local folks, because that is hours. That is money in the bank for our grants. One landowners, we also do a road or a slash pickup, where now, instead of chipping, we actually have a contractor that comes down the road, picks it up, puts it in the back of the truck, hauls it into somewhere, and in the middle of winter, we'll set it on fire. Works out really, really well. Firewise, NSEP has had 2 grants recently, besides the ones that once we kind of went off of Gloria's program, we did it on our own. We received 2 grants totaling over $50,000. Those hours that you contribute, that is real money. Build a kit. Brad's talked about it. Aaron's talked about it. We've talked about building that kit and being prepared for evacuation. It's something that we talk about in Eagles Nest all the time. Ready.gov, phenomenal website. And that's all I got.